retaliation, because we felt that if we did retaliate, we would be playing into their hands. So what we were trying to do was basically, you know, establish ourselves and trying to win the hockey game and get a gold medal, and we're still trying to do that. If the game were to continue now, I'm sure that we would be able to go out there and just play hockey. It's something I have to apologize, you know, to the people of Canada for. You know, seeing that type of thing is never good, but it's something that happened. You know, I think that was provoked by the Russians. They were the first people to leave the bench, and from very good sources, my assistant coach was at the end of the bench and saw the Russian coach open the door and actually push one player out. So I felt that they started it. They were the first to leave. They started it on the ice. They were the first to leave the bench, and I certainly hope the Canadian team's medal chances is not damaged as a result.
When the other opportunity or the other fracas broke out in the Canada-U.S. game just before the game started, the coaches went on the ice to try and break it up and to bring the players back. Was there any attempt at all or any thoughts at all of going on the ice this time?
Well, it would have been, you know, life-threatening. I think that, you know, at that particular point, I don't think referees are definitely supposed to indicate to the coaches if they're supposed to want them on the ice. But I felt that the situation on the ice, that I don't feel that myself or Pat would have been able to stop it at that particular point in time.
Let me bring Pat Burns in, the assistant coach who was down at the end of the bench. Pat, you were by the Soviet coach. You saw him send players on the ice?
Yeah, he opened the door and he did signal for some players to leave the bench. Bert and I tried to hold our players back, but at that point in time, we probably weren't used to seeing what was happening on. That we never expected this sort of thing, that's for sure. But they were definitely the first to leave the bench, and, you know, it's like Bert said, we're going to have to wait the outcome of everything.
That's it now. What do you do now? You just sit and wait until they call you back on the ice?
Well, as far as we're concerned, we have a hockey game to play. The hockey game is not finished. You know, we're guaranteed a bronze medal right now, but we're looking for gold, and we would like the opportunity to finish the hockey game. We have actually started nothing. It seemed to be the Soviet style in this hockey game to come out and play physical, and they tried to do that right off the bat. We didn't retaliate for such a long period of time, and you know, the referee basically maybe we might class as let things get a little bit out of hand until they boil over. We still want the gold medal, and we want the opportunity to win the gold medal, and we don't think we've done anything to deserve not being given the opportunity to do so. If they're going to banish some team, then banish the team that started the altercation and left the bench.
Okay, let's talk about Canada's situation right now. Your players are in the dressing room. If they decide to proceed with the game, what do you tell your players?
Well, it's not if they decide. I can't see. I'm not even thinking of the possibility or not. But
well, let me interject. First of all, fighting means automatic banishment. I mean, everybody was out fighting.
Well, I don't know if they call it fighting. I've seen international hockey where they call it 5 minutes for roughing. I really don't know what the international rules are governing this. I would certainly think that we should be given the opportunity to go back on the ice and play, and we're well prepared to go out there and play the game of hockey. We were trying to play the game of hockey. We were trying to stay out of the altercations. We took far more abuse in this hockey game than what we had before without retaliation, because we knew that the Russians had nothing to lose going into this hockey game, and Canada had everything to lose. And what we wanted to do was stay out of trouble, see if we could get them into penalty trouble and capitalize and win a gold medal. Our hopes are still that way, and that's what we're hoping to do.
Okay, Bert, we'll check back with you later. You and Pat, Bert Templeton, Pat Burns, thank you very much for joining us during this timeout, this brief break. Let's go back upstairs now, and we'll check in with Don and Sherry.
Well, Fred, Bert Templeton said that the Soviets had nothing to lose. Indeed, they have nothing to lose. Canada has a medal to lose. The color still to be determined. They may not get that chance. Sherry, we have been informed that the directors are now meeting. Gunther Savetsky, the president, they just paged the general manager of the United States team to a meeting, and the word we have received is that both teams might be disqualified.
Yeah, there's no question that that's part of the subject. And that's precisely why they've called that meeting. And if, in fact, they make that decision, they'll disqualify Canada and Russia. And therefore, Canada goes right out of the medal run. And, of course, Russia's got nothing to lose, as Bert Templeton alluded to. And, you know, we talked about earlier when we were preparing for this telecast about how the change in style of the Russians, how they've been studying our films and so forth, how they've gone to some big aggressive wingers, and they certainly have, and guys that can skate, how they try to play the corners and so forth. there was a lot of stuff after the whistle. A lot of stuff that usually, you know, we try to discipline. We talked about action, reaction. And as we alluded to earlier, if they'd have jumped on that, I don't think we'd have had the problem that we have here right now. The other thing is they haven't attempted to flood the ice at all. So what we're saying here, very simple, is this, is that what I expect to see is that I'd like to see them finish the hockey game. That's what should be done. We should concentrate on that. Flood the ice right now. Add this minutes to the minutes that are remaining to the third period, and let's get the tournament over with.
Well, you know, people always talk about violence in hockey. They condemn our North American hockey and the National Hockey League because of the fighting. In international hockey, there is more stick work, and we have been witness to it, more slashing, more spearing, more kicking, more tripping, because they are not permitted to fight. Disqualification results from a fight. Now, I'm not condoning fighting, but international hockey is very chippy play at times. I think we saw evidence of that tonight, leading up to the major brawl that erupted. We'll be back in Piestany, but right now, let's go to the studio and hear our Brian and Grapes.
All right, Don Whitman, an ugly, disgraceful incident. I'm watching it in our Toronto Control Center like you people are at home. What concerned me was the total lack of control by the officials as they pulled off the ice. This was a down-and-out Pier 4 brawl, folks. This is not a National Hockey League fight where players don't get hurt. I was greatly concerned that some young man would be severely injured. I don't think disgraceful incident is too strong a term. Don Cherry?
Well, that's what happens when you get in a fight, Brian. Somebody